let's see here. Let me just invite a few people here and see what happens. Let's see, we'll invite them from Skype. Let's invite them here. Messenger. Okay. So, um, yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about. I think maybe everybody might, that's connected with us here, might want to think about what we're doing here. You know, like what is our testimony? What do we got to say about what we're spending our lives doing, chanting this holy name? So Johan was talking a little bit about the value he's gotten from chanting the holy name, and it's different maybe for everybody a little bit. Um, so anyway, I talk a little bit about for me, because a lot of times I don't say anything. I'm just chanting and relishing the holy name. And so what it's done for me is it's affected me on many levels, just so many levels. One level is on the level of knowledge. Um, it's like it's revealed to me so many things. It's revealed to me this special love for this name, and so the scriptures say this is God. You know that the name is God and everything. But all I know is when I'm chanting this name, it gives me this incredible happiness to hear this name in my ear. Many times, it's not all the time, but a lot of the time when I'm hearing that name and really focusing on the chanting with everything and surrendering to this name of Radha and Krishna or Hare Krishna, and just that mantra, just really going deep into it, I feel this spiritual awakening of happiness that is indescribable. It's like a closeness with this great, I just become extremely ecstatic and blissful. And it's like I can't really put any words to it other than it just feels so, um, and it's not even it's like it's not anything like, no material feeling. It's a spiritual experience. And I have to say, feeling is one way to say about it, but it's like a transcendental level of experience of feelings. And it's incredible. It's like very difficult to describe. I think only some kind of poetry that like Rupa Goswami can explain it. Like when one hears the holy name, one wishes one had millions of ears and millions of mouths to chant it, millions of ears to hear it. It's kind of like that, and still you need the experience. It only if you chant and you experience that, and you say, "Yeah, that's the way it is." It's like that. It's just so amazing, um, and what it's done is it's um, it's changed me. It's changed my priorities in life. What I feel is important. Um, it's caused me to attract a spiritual family of people who also like this name or want to like the name, and it just feels like I'm having like actual relationships, because I couldn't find anybody in this world that really like was kind of wanting this kind of thing. Um, so anyway, this kind of chanting with this kind of closeness with this name and this ecstasy has given me a certain kind of knowledge of understanding. It's like when I look at Prabhupada's books or even the Bible, I see things that that others don't see in these books, and I've seen that. I thought everybody was reading like this or seeing like this, but I'm noticing that people don't, and I've come to know that it's because they don't chant like this. Because then I like verses like I quote so many times, Bhagavad Gita 10:10. To those who worship me with loving ecstasy, I give them the understanding of come to me. So I've been chanting like this with this loving ecstasy and closeness that makes my body so filled with bliss. I just got to jump up sometimes. I start crying and laughing like a madman and all kinds of amazing things that looks crazy to people on the outside. But for me internally, it feels really wonderful. But it's given me a knowledge that I've come to trust and to actual preach. And then I even got the encouragement of Prabhupada and Krishna to preach this what I'm seeing and realizing from this chanting that's always been ecstatic from the very beginning. Um, um, it's attracting people too to come, and it's like organically a spiritual family of people are here, and they're also, by listening to these realizations that I'm beginning from this kind of chanting, and they're also believing in what I'm doing and chanting also here together, and they're having awakenings like this, and also seeing these things, and they're saying, yeah, this is, I like Johan this morning said, I've read Chaitanya Charitamrita 3 or 4 times. He said, but now I'm seeing it all different, from the association of Gaurahari, so this is changing not only my life, has changed my life, but now that I'm sharing this with others, which is preaching, is just preaching my testimony, my realizations, and my chanting and sharing it and doing it with devotees, is causing this same kind of, well, it's different. I mean, it's awakening devotees differently, and it's the same and different. They're getting ecstatic, but it's revealing their relationship with God, whatever that is. Sometimes it's more of like a manjari. So, like in Rangaleka, he feels his experience of being a little girl, relating to Krishna and loving it, man, and chanting, and he's crying now in ecstasy. Everything the devotees were talking about, or praying for, when will tears appear in my eyes? Well, that's appearing in people here. So that's what it's doing for me, and now others too. Is they're starting to, they're saying, God, this is really amazing. So, it's like that. It's just giving me this amazing closeness with this name. Like people say, this is God, because God, I can't think of a better understanding of God than this intimacy, this relationship, this kind of love that I feel. I haven't experienced with any person in this world. No person other than chanting Hare Krishna has given me this. Yeah, or when I hear or chant like verses from Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, I feel like when I'm reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, like this pastime, this visualization I'm getting from reading or chanting the verse. I'm feeling so much love for that person, that picture that's being painted by the glorification of a devotee like Krishna Kaviraj and Chaitanya Bhagavatam. I said, wow, this Lord Chaitanya is very wonderful. Just from this picture that's being painted by his glorification, I feel like I really love this being. And it's so pure, so wonderful. And it causes also inside a purification. And like I feel like how if on a window there's a lot of crud on it and you try to see out into it. And that to me is how I'm seeing through my eyes. Generally, when I start to feel this, when I'm chanting the name of Krishna or Lord Chaitanya or his pastimes, this devotion awakens, this love, and then I get all these realizations on the scriptures and the reality of them and how true it is, and realizations, more realization. To me, this is the most wonderful thing. To me, this is like real money. This is wealth. People are thinking when they get a lot of money, it's like, wow, I got wealthy. To me, when I get all these realizations about how wonderful this God is, this Lord Chaitanya is, or the devotees are, and the realizations of the verses, to me is like great wealth. Yeah, and it does this cleansing thing. I look in the world, it seems full of joy, full of connection. I feel really connected with everything. And there's a power coming through. Something like yesterday, I gave can you imagine, 5 hour talk, talking about Krishna, chanting his name, ecstasy, and all that. Everybody were floating. And I go walk around, and people start. It's like they feel something. They look at me, and I wonder, am I dressed all right? Or they look. It's like they feel something. And I'm looking. I'm wondering, what is there? Is something on my head or face or something? Because I realize this spiritual power from this purification, this cleansing that comes also in this love. I don't know. This is just so wonderful to me. I just love it, man. It's just like, to me, this is wealth. And then I read Lord Chaitanya was like that too. And Maharaj Prataparudra quoted a verse from the Bhagavatam, and the Lord said, "Oh, I feel one guy, you've come along and you're giving me this valuable treasure, this jewel of a verse." I said, "Yeah, I can really relate. That's how I feel." And it's like this, and so I'm just sharing this intangible product, sharing my experiences. And so chanting the holy name has brought all of this. And we start our morning programs with chanting, all this ecstasy, and it's drawing people here. It's been a means of a livelihood, even on the level of, it's like all I do is I got this order to share this with people. Since when I first got the order from Prabhupada in 1996, and I said, okay, I'm committing this is the order Prabhupada to share this now with others. And I was already relishing it for years, didn't share it with anybody. And then a couple of people came, and the Prabhupada said, this has my approval, and do more of this and everything. And then this lady got the dharma. Okay? And then Krishna said, it's because of the Guru this is happening. And then it's been supported also through the years by people who find this of value. Sometimes it's been a few, sometimes one, but now more and more people are supporting it. It's like it's an important job that Krishna's and Guru is saying, yeah, this is just do this. And even on that level, the money to keep it going is going, so I can go to wherever I need to go, and also help others come. Sometimes I give money, if some money is coming, I can help others to come. It's like, wow, man, this on all levels, this holy name has been in a wonderful benediction and boon. And feeling detached from the world, more or less, detached from the money. It's not like I'm just hoarding it. People give money and then we use it for stuff and whatever is needed for the preaching. If somebody needs to come or wants to come, I have some money, usually extra, or I ask people for it and they give it, they help out. So it's a wonderful family. I mean, I feel my heart so blessed and so happy. Also get from the hard work of following Vaidhi Bhakti and all its guilt. I used to, when I didn't follow this path, even though I was qualified to do it, qualification, I chanted in ecstasy from the very beginning, but I didn't know its value. I didn't know about Raganuga Bhakti and spontaneous devotion. There was nobody to really teach it, and there still isn't anybody but us now. I had to learn it all from practical experience and scriptures. The first thing they lose is the guilt, and I used to feel guilty. Didn't chant all my rounds or whatever it was because I lost this path. See, so if you find this path, and you go off it, then you can go back and you'll feel all of these things come back. But if you're qualified for it, like I was qualified from the beginning, I just didn't know, well, how do I maintain this path? How do I expand it? How is it expanded and all this? So I learned that through the years of being with ISKCON and going into the Gaudiya Samiti for a while, and with the Radhakund Babajis for a while, see, and then going out into the world, see, and each time having experiences of different experiences. So I learned a lot of stuff about what is Raganuga Bhakti, then studying the scriptures, chanting in ecstatically over the years. It showed me, it's freed me from the hard work. I don't have any, I know that I'm not purified by following the rules. I mean, if I fast, it purify the senses, but it won't purify the soul. The soul is, so, but fasting is good. I did a 30-day fast once. It was the best thing I did for purifying the senses and the body and everything, and I'll do it again. So, but it's not going to deliver me. I'm already delivered. I was delivered as soon as I started to chant in ecstasy. Everybody else is if you come to that platform. Okay? And that's our work in the world. That's why Prabhupada felt it was important to give the order to preach it publicly, and Krishna also giving his sanction. And it being supported. People feel it's of value, and they even give donations to keep me going here. I mean, I'm not doing a regular job. This is a uncommon job, and a very important one, having people's awakening of devotion. Because if I don't do it, it ain't going to be done, because I haven't found anybody awakening devotion in anybody else. Okay? So the Lord is using me to awaken devotion in others. Okay? So that's really wonderful. It's like it showed me what I'm here for. So another thing of chanting the holy name is revealed my work in the world and my passion, and what I really love in this world, what is important to me, who I am, what I am, my devotional relationship with God. See? It's given me everything. It's, become my life and soul. And I don't, if I feel like watching a movie or something, I can do it now and just do it, and it's okay, and I kind of feel good about it. If I feel like having a beer once in a while, I can do it. Not even the Lord told Raghunath Das, just enjoy the world befittingly and don't get addicted to it. So that's the main thing. Now, even if I got addicted to it somehow or other, because, when you're saved, you're saved. I know what is being saved. I know as long as I continue to relish the holy name of God, that my position of being connected with the Lord is maintained, is simply by love of Krishna, devotion to God. And I know, how to do devotional service by the mercy of Prabhupada's books. So anyway, and I'm still learning more all the time, sharing more, and I'm just getting more desire. I want more people to get it, go on Sankirtan. I want this name to manifest more ecstatically. People are starting to dance now. And I mean, it's just getting better and better and better. I can't think of a better thing to do in the world. Thank God for the holy name. Thank you for all these ever increasing benedictions. It's like Lord Chaitanya said, chanting the holy name is like the ever increasing wax, the moon of ever increasing benediction coming. Yeah, all from this chanting. This gets more and more wonderful, and it's more and more blessings on others. God, I can't believe it. People are telling me, oh, you're awakened by bhakti. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. And it's like, wow, man, it's so nice to make a difference in people's lives in that sense. Yeah, it's made a difference in my life. It's nice to leave a legacy spontaneously that is effortless just because I love to do this. It's great. It's really wonderful. And to be able to bless people with to help them come to the point very quickly of chanting the names in ecstasy, so the same kinds of benedictions come to them, their relationship is revealed and awakened. My God, as I'm talking about this, I feel so more and more blessed. So anybody here, encourage you, give a testimony of what you're getting from chanting the holy name. For me, it's also, I never had a living guru, I could say, that could really contribute to me other than Prabhupada's books, because I already came at the ecstatic platform. I just took a little. It was, all I did was read a few verses in the Bible, even in the New Testament, and being in contact with glorification of Jesus. I was raised into the spiritual consciousness for 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And into a continuous communion with God. And a similar thing happened with Prabhupada, has been ever since, as long as I stay on this path and stay away from things that will detract me from it. Even that stuff doesn't even bother anymore, because the more you go in it, the more you start burning off. And you start converting people into ecstatic devotees. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Just get the more and more spiritual power is manifest by this worship, this kind of worship. Yeah, it's just all encompassing. All encompassing. Yeah, so I know for me, for what I see too, for devotees, the chanting of the holy name is bringing those who are following the Vaidhi Bhakti process and chanting the holy names and following sadhana, everything. It's actually, because I noticed they're not getting the result yet, most of them, until they come here, or maybe all of them, because the whole point is to ultimately meet the bona fide spiritual master, the Shiksha Guru, if you're not at the point of ecstatic love already awakened. That's the idea of, you got to follow the process of, by regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, regular classes on Bhagavat, from a pure devotee in service to the devotee. All that's troublesome to the heart starts to come out. So a lot of devotees now are at that stage. And then the awakening of ecstatic devotion. So I came in at the end part of the process. So it was more or less easy for me to wrap it up and come to this point of helping others, because others still, they're not coming to that point of they don't have conclusive knowledge that empties them out yet until they meet the bona fide Shiksha Guru. And that includes Prabhupada's disciples. They need more Shiksha from a devotee who's cleaned out and at that other last rung where devotion to Krishna is awakened. See? So now, when devotion to Krishna is awakened, now the water that you put on there when you chant, that austerity of just chanting is considered an austerity, actually. It bears rapid fruit. See, rapid fruit of realizations and revelations and purification that comes from ecstatic awakening. Okay? So that devotion to Krishna is the highest level of realization. Okay? And so at that point is where you make really quick, rapid, further progress. You just, now your austerities and renunciation will bear more fruit, especially whatever you do for the cause. It just, fruit comes from the austerity of hearing, chanting, remembering about Krishna. Bears the fruit of revelation, realization, detachment from the world. Ecstatic communion with God, which is really, Okay, so anyway, that's my testimony. And so I would encourage others. So yeah, the main point of that is what I see, what's going to happen for the Vaidhi Bhaktas who are not at that level of ecstatic awakening is they'll show up here. So that'll be the fruit of their chanting, because then when you have the awakening of devotion, then your mantra chanting will bear fruit of ecstatic devotion. That's the ultimate fruit, is intimacy with God, becoming an intimate associate. So to do that, you need the Shiksha Guru if you're not at that platform now. And most devotees are, I've seen. That's why a lot of devotees, they don't know why they don't like my classes yet, because they're just not qualified yet. They're not qualified, because if you like my classes, then very quickly you'll chant like I chant. Isn't that the whole point of the Hare Krishna movement, is to chant the name with great love and ecstasy? Well, that's happening here. And my students who are coming and liking what I'm teaching, they're doing it now too, many of them. And or making progress towards that. Chanting with tears. People say, oh, when will tears come to my eyes? You know, chanting that prayer of Nityananda, you know, and grace. Well, that's all happening here. So just come here if you're ready and get that fruit. Okay, anyway, that's it. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for listening to my testimony.